Good evening, night people. This is Captain Truth somewhere between the highway hiss and the motel glow. Something's wrong tonight. You felt it. A traffic camera aimed the wrong way, an ambulance at place nobody remembers, another story that ends with I'm not sure was nothing. That's how it happens here, not with thunder, with minutes missing, closed doors, bad detours, and too many people circling the same rotten luck. Then the whole region feels it. Diners go quiet, hospital halls stretch. People check in the mirror one more time before they step inside. Maybe it's nothing around here. Maybe it's a lie. The capital district is awake tonight, night people. And the land, well, the land remembers. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to Capital District After Dark. Let me introduce my friends before we get started. Directly below me, to my left, we're going to start with Murda. Murda, tell us who you are. Tell us who you're playing tonight. And tell us what you're looking forward to this evening.
I am Myrta. You can find me on YouTube. I forgot that I had social media last time, which is frankly amazing. You can find me on YouTube as Myrta, but with a like lowercase m and with 3 zeros at the end. I mostly do gaming. I sometimes do occult. I run in quite a few occult communities as well, so you can also find me on Reddit. Just don't read too much into what my account posts. I am playing a Tremere called Lily. She has quite a few identities, one to use with mortals, one to use with other vampires, and another one hidden underneath. She is very, very desperate to find her own corner of undeath and to actually belong somewhere. This session I am really looking forward to. Hopefully, visiting the Sind Nosferatu that we should have honestly already have done, because I have a feeling that my sire is gonna admonish us for it. And I have heard that we're doing individual scenes, so I'm looking forward to that also.
Excellent. That brings us to your right. That brings us to the man in the makeup. Josh, tell us who you are. Tell us who you're playing. Tell us what you're looking forward to tonight.
I'm just Joshy. I don't stream by myself, but I'm here every Monday playing Vampires with Zed. If you're the type of person who wants to follow me on social, go ahead. It's some combination of really just Joshy everywhere that I exist. Tonight I am Zero the Nosferatu, and it's still better for me, or you. It's better for everyone if you don't know who I am. Because if you know me, I probably have something held over you. I'm excited for the just diving in deeper into these characters. I really enjoyed myself last week, and I'm excited to see what we can dig up.
Oh, I love it. Fantastic. That brings us to your right, to Nerded Art. Tell us who you are. Tell us who you're playing, and tell us what you're looking forward to tonight.
Hey everybody. Sorry. Hey everybody. I'm Nerd at Art, and man, I'm just excited to be here. I don't really stream on my own, but you'll find me over at the Team Wildwood channel every so often, where the husband and I play retro video games from time to time, but mostly we just play tabletops with our friends. I'm here on Monday nights playing Vampires with Zed. He's here on Saturday nights playing Werewolf, and there's a whisper that someday in the near future we'll be playing some Marvel over at Nerd At's channel, which I'm super excited about. So tonight I am playing Kat, Bruja punk rocker, kind of the quiet type, definitely prone to get into a fight, but she tries her best to keep her rage in check. So she's going to be an interesting character, I think.
Excellent. That brings us below you to Davey. Davey, tell us who you are. Tell us who you're playing, and tell us what you're looking forward to tonight.
Hey everyone, I'm Davey. I am a gamer, TTRPG fan, and actual play performer now. Apparently, that's something I do now. This evening, I will be playing Connor, the Banu Hakim hacktivist, stroke cyber criminal. And what I'm looking forward to this evening is seeing if that little Masquerade breach indicator next to Zed's head goes up any further, because it's already looking like a little bit, sinister, and it's starting to worry me because I know how these things go.
Excellent. To your left brings us to Nachi. Nachi, tell us who you are, tell us who you're playing, and tell us what you're looking forward to tonight.
Okay, so hey there, everyone. I'm Naichi. Playing Anya, and as I said before, she's your favorite Toreador's favorite Toreador. And well, besides that, she's a prima ballerina. She's a socialite, and she can be kind of mean and a little bitchy about it. But she has her layers, and I hope I'll be able to show those layers for you during tonight's session. And I'm really excited to play. I don't really have any like social stuff, but I might end up streaming soon, so I might let you guys know in the near future when I do. But yeah, I'm just excited to be here, and I'm just excited to share Anya with everyone.
Fantastic. The Toreador, Anya. That brings us last but not least to Drew. Tell us who you are, tell us who you're playing, and tell us what you're excited about for tonight, buddy. Oh, you're muted, bro.
Hey everybody, I'm Drew. It's nice to see everybody. I am a TTRPG big fan, have been since I was 9, and I'm older than I'd like to admit at this point. You can find me all sorts of places. I am here on Zed's channel on Friday nights running Jewel of the South, another vampire game, as well as some other of our places like the Cat's Meow and Ticking Time Bob's networks. They do great stuff. And I'm playing Oliver Davies, the La Sombra, looking to be a socialite, feels as if he is owed by the world to be accepted in to the sects that are now making you apply and earn it. And finally, what am I looking forward to? Honestly, so far, one session with this table, it's a really great table. And I like seeing where all of the mischief ends up taking each of our characters and how it affects each other. So it's going to be a good game. Looking forward to it.
Fantastic. That brings it to me. I'm Commodore Zed. I'll be your storyteller for the evening. We're going to jump right into things. Hunger. We're going to start exactly where we left off last week. It is set on the screens. Lily, you were at 1. Zero, you were at 2. Kat, you were at 1. Oliver, you're at 0. Anya, you're at 2. And Connor, you're at 1. We're going to go around real quick. Connor, your desire last week was to go back to your basement, get on your computer, and do the research into his interests. You did not get to do that. What would you like your desire to be this week, or would you like to keep it the same?
My desire this week is going to be, having given it a little bit of thought, if I absolutely have to be doing this stuff, I want to impress Velvet.
Press Velvet. Okay. All right. 0. Last week, your desire was to make sure nobody follows the body. What is your desire this week?
I would like to, I think, dig a little deeper into this grease / victim / whatever shenaniganry, and maybe get rewarded for it.
Okay. Oliver, your desire last week was to make sure the death of the already dying victim goes unnoticed by anyone unnecessary. Do you want to keep that desire or change it?
I think he'll change it. He wants to get the current job done. They turned in a report on it, and he knew it wasn't complete, but he's hoping it was enough. He's starting to get the idea it wasn't, so he is intensely looking forward to getting the rest of it covered up and handled so that they can move on.
Excellent. Kat, you had a desire to have a gloriously quiet evening, and you hope it stayed that way. That did not happen. What would you like to desire to be this week?
I think that she, much like the others, is just wanting to get this done. So she doesn't really care about impressing Velvet or anything like that, but she definitely just wants to get enough information to satisfy her so that she doesn't have to get any further involved.
Excellent. Lily, last week your desire was to track down a newly published occult book and determine whether it was a real lead or just new age slop. We didn't really get to that. Would you like to keep that desire and pursue it this week, or would you be interested in changing your desire?
I think that what's on the most forefront part of Lily's mind right now is doing this job and doing this job well and getting noticed. So we can come back to the book thing after this is done.
Okay, doing the job well and getting noticed. Anya, your
Yes.
desire was to make your problems go away and avoid them being blamed on her. You really haven't accomplished that yet because we haven't had a lot of time. Would you like that to stay,
Yeah.
or your
I
desire, or would
feel
you like to
like
change it?
I feel like for Anya, she feels like she got that sorted out because she spoke to Connor, even though it hasn't really been sorted out. For her, it's like, oh,
For
it's
her, it
done.
has been. Okay,
So,
that's fair.
yeah.
Okay, so I will give you your
So,
willpower back. So you get one
okay.
willpower back for doing your desire. And what do you want your new desire to be?
I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing during this mission impresses mostly the Bahari, probably the Anarchs.
Okay, excellent. So we're going to get started. And we're going to get started at the hospital. Past the lobby, the hospital narrows into the night rhythm of locked doors, low conversations, and staff who've already worked too many hours. Connor, Kat, Anya, nurses pass you in soft shoes and wrinkled scrubs. The smell is disinfectant, burnt coffee, and old air conditioning. And something faintly medicinal underneath it all. The whole place carries the feeling of people trying to keep ordinary life moving while things happen behind the curtains. Somewhere in here, a woman who lost too much blood and lived waits for you. What do you do?
I am checking for cameras as we're going because I want to stay off them as much as humanly possible.
You want to stay off the cameras. So you're specifically looking for security stuff. Give me a
Yeah.
intelligence plus technology check. Difficulty 3. Spot all the cameras.
Sure. That'll be your 4. I'll take half.
You spot the
I
obvious
got
cameras.
8 dice in that.
Okay, you spot the obvious cameras. So you succeed at the margin. You clock the cameras in the corners. You clock the obvious hidden cameras. But you're pretty sure on this cursory look you may have gotten everything. But you looked quickly, so you're not sure.
Okay.
Unless anyone's got a better idea as far as finding this person, I would assume that if they lost a lot of blood just last night, they're probably in ICU. So Kat's just trying to make her way towards that end of the hospital. She's keeping her head down like she's just someone shuffling on. If someone stops her, she's going to be like, oh, just trying to find the cafeteria for a cup of coffee kind of thing.
Into the hospital, you have to go through the security checkpoint. Sorry, Anya, please go ahead.
Of course. I kind of want to maybe try and do something a little bit risky. Mainly because hospitals are a trigger for Anya. She's not comfortable here. So she's just going all out. She wants to get out of here. I want to try and talk to someone, maybe the front desk of the hospital, maybe a nurse passing by. See if any of them maybe recognize who I am.
Okay. So a woman in white walks by. She's wearing a white scrubs and a blue jacket over it. Not a doctor's jacket, a nurse jacket. She's roughly 50.
Mhm.
Her eyes are kind of tired. She looks at you and she blinks twice. I want you to give me a wits plus fame check. Difficulty
plus fame?
4. Because you are a prima
Okay.
ballerina. That's where your fame is. And this is going to be a difficult one.
Okay.
We'll see if this night nurse recognizes you.
My looks don't help me with this kind of role, right?
No, they do not.
Okay, so it's plus fame
Yep.
is sex. Should I blood surge? I don't know. I'm in a hospital. I won't blood surge. I'll just roll the 6 day.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you
It's
like
the
to
killer
re-roll
roll.
2 of those with willpower? You can if you like.
Oh, my dice thing. Okay, it got away. I do want to reroll 2 of those with full willpower.
Excellent. Look at that. It's a
Ooh.
critical success.
Critical.
As she's walking by, she stops and she looks at you. And then she just stops in her tracks. Is that you? It can't really be you. And she just runs up to you. She's 50, but she looks like almost like a schoolgirl, excited. It's Anya. It's Anya. It's really, what are you doing here? It's really Anya. And she starts making a lot of racket, starts to gather attention, and other people start looking at her and then cell phones come out.
Yeah, I tell her, I'm here on this. I really appreciate you. And oh my god, I just adore my fans. But really, this is a very private matter and it's very sensitive. Is there anywhere private I can ask you a few questions? It's about a friend of mine who might be here.
She kind of stiffens up. She goes, "Well, it is your friend. I understand that. I don't want to offend you, but patient information is confidential."
Oh no, I don't want information. I just want to know if it's during, I don't know, is it visiting hours? My schedule is so busy with like ballet and sometimes some interviews, and I just got so busy and I haven't had time to visit her. I was wondering if maybe I could visit her. She was just involved in an accident. I don't really want to speak broadly about it over here. There's a lot of, and she points to some of the phones around her.
Look, she thinks. Please make a wits plus persuasion check.
Wits plus persuasion?
Yep.
Since it's persuasion, does my looks play or no?
You know what? I'm gonna let your looks play on with this woman.
Okay. Is this? I'm not justifying myself, am I, for the specialty? Okay, so wits plus persuasion plus stunning, so that's gonna be 7, I think. Yeah, 7.
Difficulty 3. You
Okay.
can take half at margin if you want, but it'll just be at margin, the base success.
I want to roll. I enjoy
Excellent.
the rolling. Oh, that's.
That's wonderful.
That's
That is
not
a
fun.
compulsion. Would you like to roll willpower to see if you get your 3 successes? Because you need your 3 successes.
Yeah, I want to reroll for the successes.
Okay, reroll 3 dice.
Yeah, let me reroll the 3 dice. Starting off great. No.
As you're starting your comment, you begin to ask your questions, and out of the corner of your eye, you spot the television. But on the television, you see an incredibly beautiful performance of Chinese ballet.
Oh.
And you stop everything you do, and it becomes obvious to everyone else that you are completely enthralled as your toreador compulsion kicks in because you have a bestial failure. And you can do nothing but watch devotedly this small, dusty television in the corner of the ICU. What do the other two do? What do you, Connor, and what does Kat do at this point?
Well, see, I'm torn between two impulses because on one level, Anya is clearly not doing what she should be doing and keeping things on the DL. But on the other hand, this provides a really excellent opportunity to sneak further into the hospital.
So you're going to try to sneak past everybody taking care of catatonic Anya?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't think there's a way for Connor to get her out of there. He's not that kind of guy. He's not like he's not like fast tongued or anything like that, but he is like sneaky. So
I'm
Sorry?
reasonably persuasive.
I think this is on you then.
I'm reasonably persuasive. So I'm just I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna put my hand on Anya's shoulders, like I'm trying to comfort her, and I'm gonna look at the nurse and I'm gonna say, I'm so sorry. She's just so upset about what happened to her friend, and it's just hard for her to focus right now. It would be such a relief to her if she could visit her and just see that she's okay.
A wits plus persuasion check. No, manipulation plus persuasion.
Oh, okay. You sure it can't be wits?
Sure it can't be wits. Difficulty 3.
Okay. Oh, damn it. It's doing that thing where it's cutting off half my screen. Okay, there we go. 3.
3 successes. She looks to you for a moment. She looks at Anya. She can see how distraught she seems and how drawn she is by the trauma of her friend being hurt, that she's being subsumed by this ballet in front of her. That she sighs. Of course, we can make an exception. We understand the press. We understand the privacy that sometimes the rich and the famous need. Of course, you can go see your friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much for understanding.
Is Connor still trying to sneak in while this conversation is happening?
Yes, I think I'm still trying to sneak in.
All right, so while they're having their conversation and Kat's smoothing things over, I would like you to make a stealth plus dexterity check to move past them so you don't get caught.
Can I use unseen passage?
You can't. Ooh, you have to get into a shadow first.
Okay, can I do that?
Give me your dexterity plus stealth check. Difficulty 3 to move into a passageway that's kind of away from people.
I can take half.
All right, you take half. You duck into a corridor, and then you reasonably step out, thinking that you are completely invisible. And as you approach the door,
I like the way you say thinking that I'm completely invisible.
As you approach the door, you realize it's closed. The door to the ICU is closed.
Oh well. I'm gonna wait until the door opens and then. Sometimes I forget about this.
A few moments later, the nurse opens the door and lets Kat and Anya through.
Has
And
my
Anya,
compulsion
your compulsion, it begins to fade as you leave this scene. The two of you are led through the ICU to a room in the back, into a room for a woman named Karen Crawford. You see Karen with her blonde hair in a kind of a sculptured bob. still wearing a flattering but not quite flattering dress that you would wear to a wedding. Trying not to upstage the bride, but at least trying to upstage the bridesmaids. She has IVs in her arm, and she's getting fluids, and her eyes are semi-closed. She has a empty apple juice canister near her. What do you do?
So is she in like a closed off room, or is there like a lot of people around her, as in an ICU?
No, she is in a closed-off room.
She's in a closed off room.
Is the nurse
Okay.
still there, or has she left?
Yeah.
She checks on the patient, but after a moment, she goes, "I'll give you your patient. I'll give you your privacy," and she steps out of the room.
Thank you.
I thank the nurse. I just go, "Thank you so much. This means a lot." And I close the door. How like awake is she? Can she tell what's going on, or is she just out of it?
She props herself up on her elbow. She goes, "I don't know you. Who are you two?"
I want to activate. Oh,
Okay, make your check.
I think all is free.
It
Do I
is
need to
free.
roll
It
to
is free.
choose?
No, there's no rouse check. Nope, it is free. You add
Okay.
your presence to your roll, your social rolls. Okay. Well, now
Okay.
that you've activated all, what would you like to do with it?
I basically want to walk up to her and say, with Kat by my side, and say, "You don't remember us? We were there at the wedding."
Well, there's so many people. I don't remember anything. I remember having a drink, and then dancing with the groomsmen, and then going out for just a quick hit of my Benjamin. And next thing I know, I don't remember. Who are you again?
Oh, we're friends of the bride. We talked to you for just a little during the party. We had some laughs. We had a few drinks. You really complimented my outfit. Like you seem to adore my dress for some reason. But like we were worried about you. We saw you going out with that guy, and you never came back. And then we saw it on the news, and we were like, "Oh my god, what happened there?" And who even was that guy? Did he do this to you?
Give me a manipulation plus persuasion. No, subterfuge, because you're definitely lying. Give me a manipulation plus subterfuge check. Difficulty 3.
Do I add my presence and my looks or
Yes.
no?
Yes, you do add your presence, not your looks.
Just my presence. Okay.
Just your presence, yep.
So 7. I want to blood search for this because this may be important.
Okay.
I get hungrier.
You get hungry, I got you.
And okay, so that makes it 9. Okay. 6 successes.
6 successes? That's okay, so she's going to make a resolve plus composure check. And you're going to crush her, unless she gets, like... Yes, you crush her. She looks like she stops. She's, oh my, I don't remember. I think I remember that. No, it wasn't him. He didn't attack me. I stepped out. I was hitting my Benjamin. I was looking at my phone. Where's my phone? They didn't find I can't find my phone. And then I got this woman. She just came up and she just ran at me and threw her arms around me and bit me in the neck. And then
woman?
and then this guy, this big guy in this greasy jacket, like just threw her off me and chased her away.
Do you remember what she looked like? This could really help the cops.
I swear she had dog ears.
Dog ears? Like fake ones, or
It had to be fake.
did they look
unless this-
real?
Must have been a convention. She must have been cosplay. Must have been a furry or something.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I don't want to the police will sort it out, I'm sure, but there was a rave going on nearby that night, and sometimes the people get real high on bath salts. They do crazy stuff. It was probably just someone from the rave got lost and wandered into the hotel.
They bit me.
Yeah. They do
people like
crazy stuff
things.
on bath salts.
Yeah. I heard
Guy in
people these
Florida
days-
got his face bitten off. It was nuts.
No,
Evie, what are you
she's
doing during all
right.
this? You're invisible still, aren't you?
I'm standing being invisible. I don't really want anyone to remember I was here.
Okay. You don't want to be remembered with the celebrity? Set up on TMZ?
No.
Okay.
No,
All right, back to
big
you
time
two.
no.
She gets up on her elbows again. She goes, I was a little high. She goes, but it was definitely a woman who attacked me.
Did you see her at the wedding, or did she just show
No.
up?
She just showed up. She just came running down the hallway at me. I didn't even have a chance to scream. She was so fast.
No, that's terrifying. And my friend here is right. Some people these days, they just wanna, I don't know, maybe she wanted to get you sick or something. Did they do a blood test? What kind of drugs were you doing, by the way?
Just a little weed.
I mean, yeah, it was a wedding after all.
I'm getting
Do
really
you
tired.
remember?
But she stops for a second. I'm going to make a quick check for her real quick. Because
Mhm.
you got so many successes on your... You're Anya.
I am. Oh my god. Yeah,
What are you
I got so
doing here?
I got so flattered when people don't recognize me at events. And you were so nice at the wedding, you didn't know who I was. So it was just so nice talking to you. So I had to come check on
She's
you.
like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? I need a selfie. She's, where's my phone? She's looking around
Oh,
and
I
then
can
she...
take one. I can take one on mine if you want. Makes it extra special.
If you give her your number, she'll text it to you.
Yeah.
All right, well, take the picture quickly. Please, please, please.
and I go and I take the picture of her.
She gives you the number.
Yeah, I save it down on my contact. And I say, but really, do you not remember anything else? Maybe something weird, a weird vibe at the wedding, something about your plus one. You were the plus one, right? You told me that. Was it Benjamin the one you were with, you said?
No, I was with Bradley.
Oh, sorry, what's his name? Real? I misheard it.
Bradley.
Bradley.
Hmm.
I was dancing with
Bradley.
Benjamin.
Bradley.
It was scandalous, but anyway.
I mean, Benjamin's a good dancer. Who can blame you?
I'm getting really tired. They
Of
say
course.
They say I lost a lot of blood somehow.
Yeah. I'm so sorry you went through that. These
Yeah.
people, they can just be crazy. Do you remember anything about what this woman looked like? Just real quick.
She was short. She had wild hair. And I swear her ears looked like they were dog ears.
But did they look like dog ears, like puppy ears, or did they look like dog ears, like creepy werewolf from a horror film?
I mean, I wouldn't call them cute. They were just they were pointed and furry and attached to her head. She puts her hand over her head, and she's just.
I'm so sorry, honey. I'm so sorry, Karen.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
We just wanted to make sure you were doing okay. We should let you get your rest, though.
Yeah, and you know what? I can get you tickets to my next ballet, and
That
I'll
would be
have you
wonderful.
as one of my guests. and you'll have like very VIP seating and everything, and we can talk there some more when you're feeling better.
Oh, thank you. This is so wonderful. You have my phone number. Please call me.
I will call you. I will call you. Don't worry.
All right.
right.
And with that, we will make our leave.
Yeah, I will deactivate all before we leave. I don't want this kind of attention in the general hospital.
What do you do, Connor?
Again. I follow them out. Through the door behind them, making sure that I don't touch anything.
Kat kind of whispers over her shoulder as they're walking.
No,
Should have
but-
just waited in the car, man.
Oh, did we leave the hospital?
I don't
already?
say anything, but I 100% agree.
It seems like you're leaving the hospital. What would you do once
Yes.
you're done with the hospital?
I think we would reconvene in the Camarilla.
When we get back to the car,
Uh-oh, we just
Yeah.
lost your camera, Davey.
Oh,
We'll see if it
Davey's
pops up.
under
Yeah, we'll see if it
obfuscate.
pops up. Yep, Davey's
Uh-oh.
under obfuscate.
Yeah, and
Um,
also, I think my hunger needs to go up.
What?
It
One.
does. It does. Yes, it does.
do I need to
I feel
relog
like
in?
Yeah, I believe you do. Yes. All right, so you reconvene
Weird.
in the car.
Okay, I will do that.
it's reasonable to assume that I probably have
Yeah,
Rat's number. I would probably text Rat and ask him if he knew where I could find Grease tonight. Because he's the next person I would want to talk to.
I text you back. We've been summoned to Albany. Going to Westgate Diner. Davey, your camera is all sorts of weird right now. Going to Westgate Diner. It's all. Maybe meet him there. It's better now.
well,
So
if
yeah, I
he's
feel
going
like I would.
to Albany, that means that the others probably reported him, and he's going there to get chewed out or worse. However, if we showed up with some mitigating circumstances, could be good for us. Kudo us.
We don't want
I-
them blaming someone that's seen as on our side of the fence. And whether we like it or not, Grease is on our side of the fence. So yeah, I think it's probably best if we show up and back him up.
I have a card to play.
Thought he was
that
neutral.
It might help us a little.
Let's be real.
My vampire grandma. I don't know what her title is. I think she's my grandma. She's in the tower. I can give her a call, give her a heads up. From what my sire told me, she's pretty up there. So maybe we can say don't kill him. You know?
Up to you guys.
Is it worth getting into debt for? You don't even know this guy.
Getting into debt, how so? All I'm going to do is show up and tell them that
I
yes.
think I can actually turn
Here's
this
what we
around
know.
in a
No,
way
I-
that
I-
she'll owe us, actually.
All right, let's give it a try. While we're driving, I'm going to describe to you the meaning of the word covert, though, for future reference, so that we don't go into buildings where there are lots of cameras and tell everyone our real names, our government names.
Everyone knows my real name. Jesus, I can't go invisible. I'm world
Can you, like,
famous.
just put a pair of sunglasses and a hat on or something?
Everyone will just recognize my ponytail. Duh.
On that note, as you guys are having your conversation along the way, we cut back into the diner. Where Oliver, Zero, and Lily are seated with Gabriel of Clan Tremere at a back booth in the Westgate Diner, where he is slowly stirring Gabriel is slowly stirring a spoon in a cold cup of tea. It told me Greece. The information you had was on Greece. I know this Greece. Should we summon him?
It might be wise to do so.
He looks to Oliver. And what do you think?
I think that either he did it or he has further information.
He looks up at Zero. And your thoughts, Mr. Zero?
Well, I think it is at least worth a conversation with the man. Given your status over ours, I believe it is your call.
Astute. Very astute. I believe you should give him the call, Mr. Zero. Assure him that he is under the protection of Clan Tremere in this as he travels here to the Westgate Diner. No harm will come to him. We just have questions to ask him.
And I will pull out my phone, and Gabriel did say call, so I will phone him.
So you dial his number on your phone, your flip phone, and a moment later it picks up and goes, yeah?
Hello, cousin. I apologize, but I may have, implicated you in something that you did do. So, Gabriel here of Clan Tremere would like you to come down to, this diner, and, he says that you are under his protection. We just want to ask a couple of questions about, the nearly exsanguinated girl who, there's a photo of you with at the hotel last night.
That caught attention. God dang it. I thought that was cleaned up nice. Alright, which diner?
I don't remember the name, I'm sorry.
The Westgate.
Something.
Westgate.
Well, that's Westgate Diner.
Oh, I know what that is. I'll be there. It'll take me like 20, 30. I'm on my way.
Appreciate it.
Gabriel looks to you and he's on his way.
Yes, he says to give him 20 or 30 minutes. He knows the place and he is on his way.
In that time, Gabriel sits very quiet and very still until he reaches out and he pulls out a text from a briefcase and that he begins reading. And he pays you, the three of you, no mind while he reads this book while he waits for Greece. What do the three of you do while waiting?
I think Oliver specifically, he's aware of his place in all of this at the moment, whether he enjoys it or not, and understands this is a speak when spoken to type of situation. And he sits back, crosses his arms, and hopes that this Grease shows up.
Lily is nervous waiting for so long, so she just pulls out and starts shuffling a tarot deck. And apparently the situation will leave me emotionally wanting. I won't be very satisfied with it, so that just increases the nervousness that Lily feels. but she keeps on shuffling to keep her hands busy.
Excellent. She keeps her hand busy by shuffling cards. What does Zero do?
Zero is also nervous, but uses its nervous energy to constantly scan the room, and also tries to, when Gabriel pulls out the book that he pulls out, Zero will try and clock the title.
The title is The 13th Age. It is a New Age book about the Anunnaki coming down from Nibiru and enslaving humanity to dig for gold.
Zero says nothing about it and attempts to find something interesting to look at. That is not the Tremere sitting in front of him.
The diner is sparsely populated. There's very few people there. There's a couple service workers eating a very late breakfast. But eventually you hear a ding over the door. And Kat, Anya, and Connor step in.
Lily's gonna raise an eyebrow and then pretend that she doesn't know them until they approach the table.
Oliver quirks a brow, kind of chews on the inside of his cheek, but awaiting them to come over otherwise. It's too coincidental to be a coincidence.
If Kat spots them, she's not going to waste any time. She's just going to walk right over the table. Well. I guess we know who summoned Grease to the diner. How are you this evening?
Looks up, takes the spoon out of the tea, places it on a napkin so as not to leave a stain on the grimy table. Closes his book, puts it back in his briefcase. He looks up and he says, "I don't believe we've been acquainted."
I mean, no interruption. My name's Kat.
Kat?
Here to check out the same situation that I believe these guys were investigating. Hawthorne Hotel, right?
He raises an eyebrow. "Please have a seat." And he makes room. He slides over in the booth to make room, getting closer to Lily in the process, pushing everyone down a little bit as the booth slides around, and he makes room for everyone else.
Nice and cozy now.
Interesting. Nice and cozy.
I feel like Kat just slides right in. She's kind of delighting in making everyone uncomfortable right now, so she's gonna get in nice and cozy with everybody.
Those booths are made for like
sir, yes,
4 people, so we're super squished now.
Yeah, like whoever's off the edge is like one buttock on, basically, at this point.
Yeah.
Can I pull like a chair to the end of the table where there's no booth chair and just
you
sit
thought
there?
of it first? Yes. You thought of it first. You may do it.
Yeah. I'll just sit there with like the weirdest smile on my face, looking at this guy and trying not to like. I'm clearly not blinking, trying to process what I'm looking at. I'm like, hi.
He looks to the 6 of you now. I take it, and he looks at Connor specifically. I take it Troy has contacted you and contacted your services?
Yes, that's exactly correct. I'm here on the request of our friends in Troy. Still, obviously, in my capacity as a independent contractor.
Indeed. What have you learned? He says matter-of-factly without trying to pry for anything.
Well, we have learned some information about our friend from Schenectady, who I believe you have summoned, that mitigates his involvement in the incident the other night. There was another individual, and the victim of the attack places our friend at the scene, but rescuing her as opposed to attacking her. It sounds like the person who did the attacking was Gangrel, probably frenzied. Short woman, messy hair, dog ears.
Gabriel straightens his tie. And this woman, she told you this story?
She did.
Will she tell other people?
Well,
this
she
story?
told Anya.
Highly possible.
I
Did my best to
think
convince her.
that
It was just,
it is.
Sorry, Connor. Did my best to convince her it was just
No,
probably some
she
local
was.
drug addict, but who knows if it'll stick.
She's in a hospital and she was high. They'll have her toxicology reports. No one's going to believe anything she says.
And okay, to be
There's-
very fair, we only got into her room because I'm so very famous. That's the only reason.
Oliver narrows his eyes for a moment as he takes all this in. Connor, you looked through the security cam, right?
Yeah,
Did you
didn't see a
ever
trace of her.
this-
I did not.
I find it very strange that a gangrel did not show up on the computer and that Nosferatu did.
Sounds like
I
the
mean, how
Nosferatu wiped some, but not all, of the footage.
Yeah, exactly.
Incomplete
fair-
wipe, perhaps.
You're assuming her attacker was a kindred at all. We don't know that.
Or
And nobody
her
wipes
memory
the
was
victim.
changed?
That could have been Grease. We haven't asked him yet.
I'm not blaming. I'm just cause for pause. Zero, how often would you hang outside of a hotel ballroom where a wedding is going on? For no reason.
Well, just about never.
And then go to save a lowly mortal who is being fed on by another kindred?
Not really my job. I guess if the kindred was like breaking them out, I guess like I would try to like stop them, like secure the masquerade or whatever. But like,
If a kindred were breaking the masquerade in my feeding territory, absolutely, I would attack them.
but that just furthers the breakage of the masquerade.
And then she
You're going to
was
let
left
someone creep in on your
alive.
feeding territory? Someone that's going to attack someone out in the open like a wild beast? That's a good way to get yourself killed.
And then she was left alive.
I mean, for how longer is she even gonna be left alive at this point? Because y'all are talking about it like, I don't know, someone's just gonna walk in there and kill her for what happened. Isn't that a bit... Isn't that too
Her
much?
story's crazy enough that it's very doubtful it'll be believed. And if any of the higher ups think it will, they can go in and wipe her memory. It's easy done. None of us have that power. Someone else can do it.
I hope you're right, because I don't want her to die.
I'm just surprised that nobody has done it.
That's my
You would
point.
think if there was a cleanup, somebody would have called in a favor.
But if we were like, if both the tower and the Anarchs considered this to be a minor inconvenience and sent the 6 of us to handle it, they still wouldn't have had the opportunity to do so, because we were the first ones investigating it. Not even the sheriff was really that interested in it from what I heard from either side.
Exactly. We're just
Yeah.
here to get the details and let the higher ups decide what to do with it.
The cleanup has been done the day prior, because we didn't just arrive into a scene that had all the evidence, so somebody tried. I'm
Having
surprised
this
that it's done
conversation,
as slowly as it was.
there's another ding at the door as a large African American man ducks underneath the frame of the door to step in, and then sits back to his full height while he's wearing a large green overalls with a GE jacket over it. And he stops, and you notice his face. It looks like he's been punched 1,000 times. His nose broken, his face completely rearranged, pockmarks everywhere. He spots Zero from across the room and kind of lumbers in that direction. Want to see me? He stops and looks at Gabriel. He pulls up another chair and sits in it backwards, uncomfortably close to Anya.
I just could, I'd be like, with my chair as much far away from him as I can. As further away as I can.
Gabriel says, I'm just here to facilitate this. You are here to observe and report. I'm going to leave this to the 6 of you. And he just goes back to, he pulls his book out and begins reading again.
Reese, what actually happened?
You mean at the Hawthorne?
Yeah.
Well, it's real simple. I was doing my route, picking up something from the dead drop just outside. And I saw this blur. I saw this woman just step out of a car, but she didn't move like any normal person. She began loping on all fours as soon as she got out and started running toward the hotel. So I followed her in. And then I caught her running down the hallway. And she jumped on a woman who just stepped out, looked like she stepped out of a wedding. And before I could pull this woman off, I had to move the camera, get that out of the way. I threw her off, but we tussled a little bit, but she got away.
I appreciate you moving the camera, but we found no video evidence, even a blur, that indicated this woman existed.
Probably one that she came at a really strange angle.
Looks over towards Connor with an eyebrow cocked.
You deleted the CCTV footage?
Did my best.
Yeah. Bit of advice for next time, double delete.
I didn't have a lot of time, but I'll take that into consideration.
This woman, like a gangrel, you think?
I'm thinking. Whoever it is, she's long gone by now. I've never seen her before.
Yeah.
I think she was just passing through. She said something about Buffalo.
Can I...
She spoke?
How do I... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Drew.
Do I believe him?
Oh.
Do you
'Cause-
believe him? That is a great question. Let's find out. We'll give you a wits plus insight check on him. So your wits
Alright.
is 2, difficulty 3. You have 2 dice. Let me roll
Oh,
that for
well.
you, and you have no hunger though. Difficulty 3.
Can I blood surge for that?
You can blood surge for that, and I will do that for you. Roll.
Thank you.
Do not get hungrier, and I rolled 2 more dice. But you still gain no successes. So yes, you believe him. He seems legitimate to you.
How many dice do I get from a willpower?
3. You can reroll 3 of those.
All
Would you
right,
like
I'm
to
gonna
do
do
that?
it.
All right.
Yep.
2 successes. Not enough to.
No.
That's still not 3.
Worth a shot. Okay. Well,
Anybody
Just
else
gotta
wish to
fold his
make a
arms.
wits plus insight check, or do you just wish to keep talking to him?
I would love to
Sure.
know if I
I'll
believe
make
it.
a wits insight check.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Okay.
I'm also not very good at this.
Difficulty 3.
But-
Roll them.
Let's all do it.
I mean, I'll take half.
I mean, he doesn't seem to be lying, 0. Like, he doesn't seem to be deceptive at all.
You seem guessing or reaching.
No, he doesn't seem to be. He's pretty quick with his answers. There's hardly any hesitation. One success.
One more question for you there, Grease. Was that you in the surveillance van earlier?
At the Hawthorne?
Yeah.
No. I haven't been back there since the other night. I knew to get out of there. Don't be 2 places at the same time. Don't feed twice in the same area.
Interesting.
I don't
Who
own
was
no van.
responsible for the scene cleanup?
I think the hotel.
Were you the only one that was handling the situation? Did you report it in?
I didn't report nothing. It just tried to clean it up on its own. I don't know how it got back to. I don't even know how you heard about it.
Well, the victim remembers you and a dog-eared person, and also you are on the camera.
She remembers me. Where is she? Where is she?
I have that information, right?
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, you guys know she's at the Samaritan
Yeah.
Hospital.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell him where she is.
I'll take care of it.
Damn.
Looks like Gabriel.
Wait. What do you mean by you'll take care of it? I'm so sorry.
I'll make sure there's an embolism in her IV or something. I'll make sure it goes well.
Oh, this is. Oh my god.
You know, you could just as easily get someone to fuck with her head, or I tried to convince her it was just some person on drugs. It's probably not a problem.
That just gets
I
more people
will
involved.
I will personally give you money to not physically hurt her.
How much money are we talking?
I can text my dad and get you pretty high up there.
Text your dad. How about this? How about we play in big boy bucks? And you offer me a minor boon, and I won't kill this terrible witness to a masquerade breach.
Fine.
He looks to Gabriel. You remember this, and I'm gonna let a harpy know. You remember, you saw this. You went. And he just stops. He goes, "Thank you, Grease. You may go." And he stands up to his height. Is there anything else? Anyone need anything else?
Nope.
Pleasure doing
You
business
said-
with you, ballerina.
Grease, before you go, you said she mentioned Buffalo. Do you remember exactly what she said?
Said she had to go. She was on her way to Buffalo. I chased her back to her car and she took off.
Those are the only words that passed between you?
Pretty much. I don't really. It was a lot going on. I was trying to catch her. She was too quick for me. She moved like a coyote.
What kind of car was she driving?
Late model Toyota. Blue.
Did the car have license plates?
It did, but I didn't get them.
There's an awful lot of that going around the last couple of hours.
The surveillance van didn't have plates.
Doesn't mean that you didn't get them. Or it doesn't mean that you got them. Just because it doesn't have plates doesn't mean you did not get them.
He stands up. I'm going to let whatever this is be whatever this is. And I'm going to be back in Schenectady.
I think it's all fair to say that we can safely tell our superiors that the Camarilla was not responsible for this, and you can tell your superiors that the Anarchs weren't responsible for this, and we can be on our merry way.
Gabriel, as Grease leaves, Gabriel sort of puts his hands up for a moment to stay for a minute, please. There's a teachable moment here. And I'd like to educate my child for a moment. Lily, I think it's time that you expanded your social circle and found a like-minded group of young kindred to work with. I see one right in front of you. Perhaps it would behoove you to form a coterie with them. Now, I cannot speak for any of the rest of you, and I'm not going to. I'm just going to educate my child and tell her my wishes. What the rest of you do is up to you. I have no control over you, nor do I wish to. However, Oliver, I think it would behoove you two to associate with proper kindred.
Agreed.
With that, take the information to the appropriate parties, do what you have to do with it. I'm sure Duncan will see this matter closed, and an appropriate prestation will be presented to you.
Well, this is just great. I'm so glad that everything is amicably dealt with.
There's still the matter of what we are going to do with the witness.
Can't you just catch someone in the tower that can just jog her memories? I know there's people that can do that. Just do
Finish in
that.
Troy.
I can talk to people in Troy then.
We'll handle that from our end.
Yeah.
Well,
Hearing Connor say that, Oliver nods. He was about to speak, but when Connor says, "We'll take care of that,"
No, damn it, were you going to take care of it? I have no idea how we're going to take care of it.
no.
I don't know
No, no.
anybody that can control minds.
it was absolutely
I don't know either.
good. You guys were the ones that let her live. You got to clean it up. Is what was gonna happen.
Ain't nobody would level one
All right,
dominate.
no problem then. Yeah.
And to be fair, wasn't Grease kind of supposed to take care of it in just a non-violent way? Wasn't that kind of the arrangement that that she's paid a boon for?
Like that.
I'm still petrified here that my sire proposed to a whole bunch of random kindred that we just make a coterie right here and then, And also that means that Anya's problems is now everyone at the table problem, which is also a problem.
It was just a suggestion.
It's just a
Real
suggestion from your sire.
Gabriel packs up his things and he kind of motions for Kat and the person sitting next to Kat to move out of the way so he can get out of the booth. I have places I must be, people I must speak to. Alexandra will be waiting for a briefing. Dr. Griffin will be waiting for a briefing. Lily, your lessons are still on for this week. We will still continue the greater mysteries of the Fourth Circle. And for the rest of you, please, if you need anything of Clan Tremere, please do not hesitate to ask. He stands.
for your time.
Thank you, sir.
He grabs his coat, which was hanging on a hook, puts it on, fixes his tie, grabs his briefcase, nods to Lily, and he makes his way out of the diner.
Well, that was awkward.
That was a lot.
Tell me about
Well,
it.
it's so great to see the rest of you again.
If
Yes.
If I was to try and rope you all in into forming a coterie, would I owe everybody a boon? I don't want to disappoint my sire, but at the same time, that's not how you form coteries. But just
Yeah, I'm gonna be really honest. If y'all are gonna be in a coterie with me, y'all gotta know this. I'm in a little group that doesn't really have the greatest reputation, especially amongst
Don't.
older people.
Oliver holds his hand up and starts shaking his head. I don't need to know that at all.
You guys gotta make a decision. I'm not gonna keep y'all blind. It's not a secret.
He raised an
But
eyebrow.
Sounds like a secret.
Yeah, there's not an awful lot that's a secret with you, is there?
no, not really. But you guys should know this because it will affect you guys' reputation. And if you give me shit about it, I'm literally gonna be so mad. But I hope y'all understand it. And please, maybe, I don't know. I'm just trying to maybe make some friends here. But yeah, I'm a Bahari.
Oh. Okay.
Oliver scowls a bit. He shakes his head like, why would you go around announcing that?
Hashtag girl power. Have you never heard of it?
Yeah, we don't talk religion, right? That should be rule number 1.
I agreed.
I don't think, I'm not saying y'all have to believe in what I believe. I'm just saying that, oh, they're in a coterie with Anya. They're also like, yada, yada, yada. We're going to get that reputation. So be ready for that.
You know, girl, like girl power, rock on, you do you. I don't need to know about it.
it.
I don't need to know about it.
Okay. It's late, I guess, but just be ready for the
I
backlash.
guess, well, maybe we should all go do our reports as we were. I don't want to say directed, but that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, we need to close the book on this.
And then
Let's table this
I mean, with
discussion
the
for another
exception of-
time and go visit the bosses. Yeah.
Agreed. It was a pleasure. Good evening.
All right. Evening all.
Right, so who's going to where? Who's contacting Velvet? Who's
Uh,
contacting Duncan?
I'll contact Duncan.
And who's going to contact Velvet?
I'll text Velvet again if no one else will.
Excellent.
We'll make our way back to the fuse box.
Yeah.
And you are going to make yourself... Duncan returns the text to you and asks, situation update?
I'll lay it all out.
In text?
No. That's a good point. Especially in texting of this time. No. He'll just text. There's a lot.
He texts you a location. Loudonville Business Park. Lot 74, room 6.
Did we all come here in my car, by the way? The Camarilla side.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Well, and in that case, I'm still your driver. While dying inside.
Indeed.
We will go to the Camarilla first. Go ahead, Josh.
Is there a role that I can do to know more about Bahari?
You may make an occult roll. Intelligence plus occult, difficulty 4.
Intelligence plus occult, difficulty
Yep.
4.
Yep.
All right, let's try it.
They're very cool and very sane.
No luck.
No luck.
Can I make the same roll and then if I succeed, explain Bahari to?
You may. Yes, you may.
I'm right there.
You're not. You went with the other group.
Oh, did we
Also,
leave
you're an
already? Oh,
unreliable
we left
narrator.
already. Then I'm not there. Then I'm not there.
For successes, you
I see
got
4.
just enough, and you may explain what the Bahari are to Zero and to Oliver.
I will do just that, but my knowledge as a player is wavering. So isn't Bahari like a Lilith
Lilith worshippers,
death
yes.
cult? Yeah.
Lilith worshippers could be a death cult. The Bahari, and pretend I'm using Lily's voice. The Bahari are religion of Cainites and some mortals who believe in Lilith as the Dark Mother,
not
the
Cain.
the first wife of God. The first wife of God, the teacher of Cain. I don't want to get into all the terrible things Cain did, but Cain did terrible, horrible things to Lilith. There is no love lost between the Bahari and Cainites. I will not get too much into the religion because I would really need a refresher myself. But it is the worship, and we're going to let Anya describe the rest of it.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. So basically, every Baham or every Bahari has a slight different interpretation of the faith, but basically it does come down to Lilith worshipping. But it does come down to understanding Lilith not as the first vampire, but as the first, basically, preternatural creature. And it is very rooted. So there are some Bahari that are very radical and akin to radical feminism, and there's more open-minded Bahari, but there's always this sense of sisterhood and this sense that you get stronger the more pain you suffer and the more you're vindictive against people, and they do not recognize themselves as Cainites. They recognize themselves as Laka because they do not recognize themselves as descendants of Cain.
It's a very fun
That's-
religion
Yeah.
to play as. To play as.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, as Lily is expanding upon this knowledge, you arrive at the business park to the appropriate lot and room. And inside you find Duncan alone. He is not with Margaret Schuyler. He is not with Elizabeth Maxwell. He is by himself. He is merely the attendant to the prince. He's sitting behind a desk in an office. There are 3 chairs, no pictures, just a desk with a laptop open. Please come in, have a seat. Tell me what you saw. Tell me what you learned.
We will get into the intricacy of everything that we learned up until the not including the knowledge that Greece was involved but was not the culprit, and that there is a that there is a missing female potential gangrel that is headed to Buffalo, and that we've had a surveillance van outside of the hotel that drove away towards Schenectady.
And that surveillance ban is Greece's claiming was not his.
Yep.
Regulated attack. Perpetrator left. Has escaped. Did you see the perpetrator at all in cameras? Is there any witnesses to the perpetrator?
The victim still lives.
The victim still lives.
But Greece has agreed to deal with the victim. That
Deal
is
with-
correct, right? Greece.
He agreed not to deal with the victim.
Yeah.
Oh, he agreed not to deal with them.
Not to deal with the
Oh,
victim.
then never mind. I don't say that.
Okay. We will get someone on it. Very well. The three of you have my thanks, and I offer you each a boon from myself. A minor boon from me, Duncan Clark.
Zero perks up at that.
Thank you, Duncan.
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark, please let us know if we can be of any further assistance.
Thank you so much, Mr.
You have my deepest gratitude, Mr. Clark.
Of course. I hope you are useful again in the future.
I aim to please. We aim to please, if I'm not speaking out of turn.
With that, he kind of dismisses you, closes up his laptop, and seems to be locking up the room before you're even out of it. And we move to the fuse box.
Before we do,
Next the hard drive.
Hold up. Yep, go ahead.
on the drive there, I would have mentioned to Lily, I would have been like, well, I was fairly willing to like join a coterie, especially since your sire had suggested that you form a coterie with us. But then you like offered a boon, and I would like that. I'm sorry. You offered it, so
Okay. Zero, to start this coterie off on a good foot, you can have a boon from me. I can owe you one. How about that?
wonderful.
As a
Thank you
sign-
so much.
As a sign of our long-term coterie-based relationship.
Wonderful. I am excited to work forward with you and not have blood magic used on me.
Do you want to spend your boon on that?
I will think about it.
Now we will head
I
to the
would.
fuse box. Later on at the fuse box, Velvet is sitting in the VIP access again, as if she hasn't even left for the evening. Who enters first? As Velvet is leaning back, one arm up on a chair, the other languishing with a drink in her hand, untouched, keeping up appearances. So you're back, she says as you approach.
Hi.
Yes.
Hello, Anya. It's a pleasure to see you again.
You know you love to.
Of course.
May
Well,
we
we
sit?
have news.
Please have a seat,
Yeah.
she says. There's a big smile on her face. Please have a seat.
I take
So-
take a seat uncomfortably close to her.
We looked into the issue at the Hawthorne. And what seems to be the issue is that a couple of nights ago during a wedding, some kind of feral gangrel, we think, attacked a partygoer. Nosferatu, known as Grease, intervened and then attempted a haphazard cleanup of the events that happened. Our victim is still alive in the Samaritan, and we don't have any leads on where the gangrel went. Just that they said something that they might be going to Buffalo. Late model Toyota. That's what they're driving.
Is the witness reliable?
The witness was high. I imagine her toxicology report will show that anything that she has to say isn't necessarily to be believed. Despite this, we might want to take some...
Honey?
Pardon me?
Are you willing to bet the farm on that, honey?
No. No, I think that somebody should go in there and make sure she forgets.
That she forgets or that she's forgotten?
I think that would draw too much heat.
People get
Better
lost all the
everything
time.
that occurred.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're
Not
right.
in the hospital.
What do you think? She looks to Cat.
Cat kind of sighs, even though she doesn't have to, and she's like, look, I think her memory should be wiped just to be safe, but that poor woman was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. She doesn't deserve to die, man.
And you? She looks on you. Sitting uncomfortably close.
You know, the woman, she was very sweet. She, as Kat said, she was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And I don't think any of us wants another death on our hands for us to clean up. I think we just get one of us that can do like the mind wiping thing and get them in there, wipe her memory, get her out of the hospital, and get done with it. We don't need more blood spilled, honestly.
Assessment. She puts her drink down. She tucks herself. She thinks. She brings a fine manicured nail up to her lip. She taps her finger on her lips. She says, "Yes, I am pleased. I am very pleased. Atch has authorized a boon for each of you this evening, a minor boon from the Baron for your contributions to the evening. Please take that with you." Anya, however,
Yes.
there's footage floating around of a view on a CCTV
Oh, I
camera.
know. I know about that, and I actually spoke to Connor over here, and he's gonna get that dealt with, and he's a very smart computer guy, so he knows how to do it.
She looks at Connor. Really? And what is this going to cost the movement?
Oh, he already charged me.
Nothing. This is between me and her. I'll take care of it.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, if that's the case, please enjoy the rest of your evenings. I have things to do. You may stay at the Fuse Box if you wish. There will be live music later. We understand that there is a band coming from the south soon, from the north coming south, and hopefully we'll be booking them. Something about the werewolf of Lake Blackwater.
Oh shit, Song of Ashes is gonna play here?
Apparently, yes.
Fuck yeah.
Wait, what's that?
And on that, we are going to go to break. Apparently, we're not. 1 second. My welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I'd like to do a quick round the room, make sure everyone's still good. I like to do this every session just to make sure everyone's doing fine emotionally. We haven't hit anything crazy yet, but I just like to ask. I'm going to start with Nerded Art. How you doing?
Excellent. Stoked to be here.
Got a thumbs up from you. We're going to go to Davey. Davey, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic. Nachi, how you doing?
Doing good, doing great, and I'm excited.
Excellent. Drew, you having fun so far?
Having a good time.
Yes,
Looking
sir.
forward to more.
Excellent. Murta, you're up next. How you doing?
Amazing.
Excellent. I love to hear that. And finally, Joshy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Having fun. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. All right. Drew, this is a follow-up from the events of your first feeding.
Right.
You've received a call from Marion Voss, the director of the Eddy. The old folks home you fed from. And she's told you there's some questions that have come up and they'd like you to come in.
Okay.
The Eddy looks expensive in the way institutions for the old often do. Careful landscaping, clean glass, warm light, and the promise that decline here will be managed with dignity. At night, that promise looks thinner. The front entrance is still lit. The lot is scattered with staff cars and a few family vehicles that have stayed too late. Inside, the lobby smells like floor polish, decaf coffee, central air, and old fabric cleaned too often. The furniture is expensive enough to suggest comfort and practical enough to survive it. A television mounted over the sitting area is muted. No one is watching it. Images of the night and the news play across the screen. Nothing about the place says scandal. That makes even the small inconsistency dangerous. As you walk through, the overnight wing is quiet but not asleep. Soft light burns low in the corridor. One call bell sounds briefly in a room down the hall, then stops. There's a medication cart parked near the nurse's station with two drawers left slightly open. A paper chart sits on the counter beside a monitor no one is looking at. The room where the resident died has already been reset. Bed remade, surfaces wiped, and the curtains straight. The cleaning was competent. It was also fast. What do you do?
I would go to the nurses, like the overnight nurses conglomeration desk, so to speak, and kind of knock on the counter.
You're greeted
Excuse me,
by Stephanie Lang. She's not a nurse, she's not a doctor, but you've met her before. She's an administrator. Mr. Davies, thank you for coming in so late. We had some questions we wanted to ask you.
Absolutely. Is Marion around, or am I talking to you?
You're speaking with me right now.
Okay. What can I do for you?
This isn't formal, and we prefer to keep it that way. We just have a couple questions about how Mrs. Smith, how she left us, how she's no longer with us anymore. There were a couple questions that came up. You were the last to speak with her. Everything seemed fine. She wasn't on watch for anything. So we're just wondering if you saw anything, if you noticed anything.
Well, as you know, I come in here to see how the medications that me and my family make are helping those who are on bed watch. I feel it's important for us to have a relationship with you all and with your clients. I am a pharmacist, but I am no doctor. I know what the side effects are of the medications. She seemed blissfully asleep. And I just was doing my normal routine, checking out her skin, making sure that nothing seemed out of place that was visible at one sight, and just looked over her chart.
You wouldn't think your medication had anything to do with this, would you?
I wouldn't believe so. Otherwise, others would have suffered the same fate. But we do have to check. We do have to check things out. Obviously, we go through all of the proper testing before it ever hits a facility such like this.
He leans in kind of close. Well, if you're... I don't know how to say this, but if you ever need to do some testing, I can make that happen for you.
Really?
We've done it before for other pharmaceutical companies. We do have a control group here.
We would be very interested in signing a formal agreement for such a thing.
Well, it doesn't need to be something so formal. I know exactly how to make the arrangements. Say 25,000 could make this happen.
Who's the name?
Well, hypothetically, it would be me.
$25,000. Out of character, what would that look like versus his own personal resources, let alone the businesses?
For the business, it would be something you could write off. For you, resources $25,000 is still a pretty big nut.
We'll write it off against the business.
And just to be frank, she is offering you access to human trials with the elderly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
All
yeah,
right.
I gathered that. Yeah. Yep. I understand that.
All right. Just checking.
Yep.
She stops and she goes, excellent. Well, you can make that out to Stephanie Lang, or if you feel more comfortable, to the Lang Institute for the Children.
We will be glad to make a donation, and he pulls out a corporate checkbook.
Oh, I'm glad that you... I would much rather work with you than Slade.
Slade?
Slade Pharmaceutical. I get the ick from them.
I would too. They don't really care about the people, they care about the money. And he'll sign the check. Is there anything further? Any other questions? Anything else we need to clear up in this agreement?
No, I'll make sure that Mrs. Smith's death is just seen as just an unfortunate accident. Don't worry. And of course, if she looks around, there's no one else really in the wing or in the ward. If anything should happen with anyone on your medication, we'll make sure that it's never reported. We would not want to embarrass Davies Pharmaceutical with bad results.
And also let us know. Correct.
Of course, we'd let you know.
Very good. Well, thank you for your time. I don't want to waste any more of it. You're doing very important work.
Of course. As you're finishing up with Stephanie Lang, you receive a text on your phone from Rebecca, your sire.
Mm-hmm.
Text
Walking
reads,
away from the desk.
Okay, yep. Text reads, I have secured you access to church. You have been invited to a church sermon of the Church of Cain. It's not this week, it is next week. But you need to be prepared for it. You need to be well dressed and on your best behavior. Father Cruz will be giving a sermon, and you're to be in attendance.
He replies with, "Understood. I will be there and prepared to impress."
And you send that text,
Yep.
you receive a thumbs up emoji in return. And that is all.
Okay.
Stephanie walks up to you again. She says, "Thank you once again for doing business with us." And she kind of takes you by the arm. But as you know, our residents do need their sleep, and we have to monitor them for many different things. So if you'll excuse us, and as you're walking by one of the rooms, you see someone being attached to electrodes, and you hear the hum of electricity that begins to well out of a generator that the electrodes are being hooked up to.
That is a little outside. I mean, he gets the same idea that I would have on that, but that is outside of his knowledge of medical research, right? So he's like, he kind of gives it a side glance and there's a moment of like his brow pressing together in a bit of a frown. When blows out a he blows out a unnecessary breath, and it's very much him thinking to himself, "This is the cost of doing business."
Let out into the parking lot to your vehicle where you leave for the evening, and we move on to our next vignette. Anya,
Hi.
you're up. It's your turn. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. The building is quiet in the way expensive places are quiet. It's not empty, not abandoned, simply insulated. The hall outside Alexander's room is softly lit. The paint is matte. The runner underfoot is thick enough to dull the sound of shoes without swallowing it. A narrow console table stands against one wall with a porcelain bowl for keys or calling cards and a vase of flowers arranged in a style that looks effortless until you notice the exact balance is. No petals have turned, no stem leans too far. Even before you enter the room, there's a sense of space maintained by someone who'd rather throw something away than let it remain half beautiful. And the door opens without a creak. The room beyond is arranged like a place where people come in to be looked at carefully. It's not a living room, not quite a study. It's a receiving room, but one intimate enough to read as private. The light comes from shaded lamps placed low with intention so that the skin looks warmer, silk looks deeper, and reflective surfaces do not glare. There's a chaise lounge in a pale fabric that would show blood instantly. Two upright chairs face one another at a measured distance. In one of those chairs sits your sire. Beautiful, long, auburn hair. Dressed in a pleasing orange sweater, black pants combo. And she just relaxes gently on one of the chairs in front of you. The room smells faintly of powder, candle wax, dry roses, and some expensive perfume that stays close to the skin rather than floating in the air. Nothing is crowded. Nothing is casual. A shawl and black silk has been left folded over a chair that you're intended to sit in. What do you do?
Uh, I'll walk up to her. I clearly look a little nervous, as I always am, coming over here. I take a look at the shawl in the chair, and I take a look at her. I start looking for another place to sit without even asking her if I should take it off, or if I can't take it off, I just want to find some place else to sit so I don't bother her.
The only other place to sit is the chaise lounge, which is hard to sit on, easier to lay down on.
Yeah.
Alexandra folds
I
one
look at
leg
her.
over the other while you decide what to do. And she just sort of looks at you.
So I guess I'm here. Did you need to talk to me about anything about the job or about the mistake I did?
From what I understand, it was a job well done. Congratulations are in order. You did not make a fool of yourself or of me. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And I mean that with all sincerity and no sarcasm. However,
I yes.
you were caught on camera in a botched feeding attempt. Patch has seen the footage, but hasn't gotten out to the mortals yet. I understand you have someone working on it.
Yes, this one guy that was working with us, Connor, he apparently is neutral and he's a computer guy. And well, I offered him a minor boon for dealing with it, and he said he would. I thought it would be for the best.
Your instincts are correct. However, if you were just anyone else, a mistake like this would not have been caught. But apparently, someone in the transit authority is a fan of yours. And you have appeared on a local subreddit for celebrity spotting.
Oh. Okay, and how exactly should I deal with that?
I would probably ask the same person who you have dealing with this to deal with that as well. But you understand that there are special other limitations that you're going to have that other K-Knights are not. Perhaps, it was perhaps short-sighted of me to have embraced you in the first place, being who you were. But I made the choice, and we're going to live with that choice, or unlive with that choice. Because pain is pain. What is pain?
As soon as Anya hears that she'll have to live with that choice, there's clear like tears forming in her eyes, but she's holding back the tears. She doesn't want to break in front of Alexandra, and she just says, "Well, I I appreciate the opportunity and everything you've done for me so far, and I'll get it dealt with. I don't want to get on anyone's bad side, really. I just want to keep doing what I do." And I also
Patches.
said, yes, that's more on me than on you, really.
Yes, you did say yes, and you have earned Patches not trust, his goodwill. He's not going to harm you for a minor indiscretion that any of us can make. One of his grandchildren doesn't even like him. For God's sakes. So you are fine. You just need to be more careful of what you do.
I will. Uh, it's just very, it's hard to be careful when I don't know if the next time I feed is the next person I kill. It's hard to make that distinction, and sometimes I don't make that decision for myself.
It's going to be like that for a very long time, my dear. It won't be until you're ready to no longer kill that you'll need to kill. So it's not going to matter. You're going to get to a point where you're going to be so good at this that you're never going to need to kill. And then, just when you think you've got it figured out, your blood will thicken. And you'll find that you do not get the same sustenance that you did from one feeding from the next. Life is full of disappointment. Life is full of pain. Deal with
I
it.
know that.
Find enlightenment from it. Don't complain about it. Don't cry about it.
I'm not crying from the pain. No, it's just I don't want to feel like a burden
You're
really
not a
to you or
burden.
feel like
You're not a burden. And I believe Patch doesn't believe you're a burden either. The Anarchs do not see us as burdens. The Anarchs, Anya, they need us. Without us, they have no legitimacy. They'd just be Bruja, ranting and raving, dancing around like a group of simians around a monolith, smacking it with
that
sticks.
is fair. I just you you talk a lot also about our faith, and I truly believe in it. I think it bears great words and it bears great meaning, especially about all this pain that I still feel and how it just drowns my heart every time I try and stop and heal and think about it. But it's hard, and it's giving me a reason to try and control it. But you rarely talk about what it was like for you before the faith, and you did tell me part of your life was about you being beautiful, and you never tell me about that.
I am beautiful, am I not? Yes, my life before the faith was hollow. It was meaningless. I went flitted from one relationship to another. Kindred relationship, mortal relationship. I could not get enough. I couldn't understand. I couldn't breathe, even though I didn't need to breathe. But I gave in to all my worst instincts, but for no reason. But that's when I found her. And the rest is personal, and we will get into it as we peel away the mysteries. And we will talk, we will speak, but now is not the time. Now you must find this. You need to remove this image of yourself, or find some plausible deniability, or own it in such a way that it becomes a meme. If Patch finds out that you're in a subreddit, or God forbid, the kindred in Albany discover this, they will be very angry.
I'll deal with it. I'll figure it out and grow from this, as you say. I'll get out of it. It's fine.
And remember, if you want something to grow, you have to cull what's around it. With that, you notice she picks up a pair of headphones, very expensive headset, places it on her ears, reaches over and turns a knob on an electrical device, and sits back in her chair and just fades away to the music.
I'll get up, and as I'm leaving, I'll let the tears stream down while I'm walking out, the blood tears. And I'll text Connor if I have his number, assuming I do.
Yeah, probably.
And I'll just say my situation is a little worse than I expected. Ended up on a subreddit. Can you handle it too? We can increase the boon, and I'll send it to him.
That brings us to Connor's vignette. You received that text that she just described to you. Well, how does the first thing that goes to your mind when you see that she's appeared on a subreddit?
Well, I'm thinking that this is getting a little bit more complicated than it was before, because this is breach containment now, so there's no guarantee that I can 100% clear this up, but I'll do my best. I also don't feel right extorting her for another boon at this point because she seemed to care about the woman in the hospital, which I wasn't expecting. And for that and putting herself at a disadvantage to protect somebody else, I think I can, or give her one for free, let's say. So I'll just text back, I'll look into it, and I'll make my way back to the Haven to log on.
The basement of your Haven, your basement apartment, so to speak, smells faintly of dust, warm plastic, and the stale trapped air of a room that does not expect company. Cheap lamp throws a cone of yellow over mismatched monitors, cable bundles, secondhand software, and the kind of desk that long ago stopped being furniture and became territory. Outside, the capital district keeps moving in sodium light and traffic hiss. Down here, the city arrives as long gun prompts, packet loss, municipal backdoors, camera grids, and hospital systems. You see vendor accounts and the little pieces of modern life that still behave and no one thinks that are watching them. Tonight, you sit down expecting to erase a problem. How do you want to erase that problem? What do you want to do?
I'm going to deal with the security footage first. I'm going to see if I can hack into the CCTV network and just delete everything that's there.
All right. So, as you're hacking, this will be a contested action. It'll be your intelligence plus technology versus someone else's intelligence plus technology.
Really? Okay. I'm gonna blood search for this.
Okay.
I do not get hungrier, and I will be rolling 10 dice. One sec, I screwed up the hunger. My bad. That's not very good. I will re-roll 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna re-roll 3. Oh, come on, man. 3 successes.
You got more successes than I did. As you are working and working to penetrate the CCTV system, you notice that there's some resistance. That while you're doing it, someone is trying to block your login, is being blocked. But eventually you brute force your way through, and you gain access to the file directories of the New York State Police camera system.
I'm not going to mess around too much in here. Just get rid of the, just kind of a very surgical removal of the directly incriminating evidence. If there's a way I can check to see if it has moved around, it's been shared anywhere within the network, that would be great. But certainly delete all the footage from that camera.
You are looking for the footage. I would like you to give me a wits plus technology test. Difficulty 4.
Mm-hmm. That is a messy crit.
That is a messy crit. As a matter of fact, it is. The files are in the computer, man.
Yeah.
So as you begin typing, you begin working feverishly on the project. And just as you were about to control delete, control Z and redo some work that you've done, you've deleted the project. You get so excited that you swing your arm around and you push your fist through the monitor, through the middle screen, and you just break it. It's just an exuberance. Take a stain, but you have deleted the file, which you have destroyed of your three monitor setup. You've destroyed the central monitor.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's fine. It's okay. Play more where that came from. I'll move on to the Reddit situation. I will delve into that hive of scum and villainy.
You find the Albany subreddit, the R's Albany celebrity, and you see a post with 10,000 views on it, 10,000 upvotes, a prima ballerina,
What is
Anya Lebedev, looking at the camera, holding a person with a smile on her face and clearly LARP prosthetics in her mouth.
Oh man, there's no deleting this. Like, I bet you it's already all over X and Blue Sky. I'll do a quick search to see if I can find it there.
No, it has not reached past Reddit yet that you can see.
Maybe I can hack this person's First of all, I am going to accuse it of being AI. Then I am also going to try and gain access to this person's account. Kind of then thereafter learn where they are. Try and get into their computer and delete all their files. And also delete the post.
All right, so
which
the
may be a bit more
user
challenging.
the user says Punisher Stady 46.
Oof. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not going to feel bad about this.
He posts mainly in right-wing website subreddits.
Oh, what a shame. He's going to need a new computer.
All right, so you're going to try to hack him.
Yeah.
All right. So this is going to be a contested test against Punisher Stady.
Punisher Statey. All right. What do you want from me?
Intelligence plus technology. Your
Okay.
earlier rouse still counts.
Oh, lovely. Hopefully I'm not going to be punching my screen again. It's 4 successes, but I would like to be sure, so I'm going to spend a willpower.
Better because I got 4 as well. All right, so you got 5.
I got 5.
So you got 1 over. So
Take that, Punisher Statey.
So you make it through his firewall. You make it through his antivirus protection, and you manage to crack through his into his computer system. And what do you wish to do? You get his list of passwords to his Reddit account.
Yeah, well, I'm closing that, deleting his post, shutting his account down, and then I'm just going to format C.
Format C for him. Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for your service, computer.
Okay. You get a text message on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Punisher symbol.
That's not good.
A message pops up.
New phone.
Message pops up. Please don't do
Who
this.
dis?
Please don't do this. I will pay you crypto. Do not do this.
New phone. Who dis?
You don't know who I am. I will come and I will hunt you down. Do not do this. I'm offering crypto.
I'm not answering. I'm not engaging anymore. I'm just
You just hit the format
formatting the
C?
C drive.
Okay.
I just hit it. Yeah.
All right.
I just hit it.
Then
I don't know.
You get another text that says no.
For some reason, that makes it feel better.
What else do you do with your time, Connor?
Well, I'm gonna get rid of that phone and get a new burner with a different number for a start. That one goes off, the SIM card comes out. It is gonna get smashed with a hammer. It's gone forever, that one. Not sure if that'll do anything, but I just don't like it.
Okay. So the computer formats itself, and you notice that, and the file is the post is removed from Reddit. The user's name has been the user account has been deleted. What other steps do you take?
What other steps do I take? I'm not sure there is another thing I could do. I'm not sure there's anything else I could do. Because I myself am not a computer hacker, so I am not smart at these things. But if there was something else a computer hacker would do, Connor would do it.
It'll let Anya know that you've done what you've done.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll just text her and say it's taken care of.
From a new number.
Yes. It's taken care of C.
Excellent. And we will wrap up your vignette, and we will go to the next one, which will be, if I were looking at it correctly, Lily. Are you ready, Lily?
Yes.
Gabriel has called you to the Chantry, to a room that he uses for private work. It doesn't feel mystical. It feels weird. There's no candles, no dramatic clutter, no theatrical signs that anything forbidden happens here. Just a narrow lamp throwing warm light over clean table edges. Shelved books arranged with bureaucratic precision, and a locked cabinet that has a faint smell of paper. You also smell the faint smell of printer ink, as an older computer, beige, from the 90s, still hums in a corner with a dot matrix printer printing. Gabriel's already there when you arrive. His reading glasses low in his nose, one hand resting beside a gray archival folder and a book wrapped in plain brown paper. He looks less like a sorcerer than an auditor of dangerous things. He doesn't greet you immediately. He studies the page in front of him, and then for one beat longer than politeness requires, he looks up. Oh, you wanted something real. Have a seat, and we'll see how you handle it.
Lydia's gonna take a seat, but this feels very uncomfortable. Something about mysticism removed from any room in the chantry just feels wholly unnatural. Even if it's like a computer room, you would still like expect some sort of memorabilia hanging somewhere. If it's a room entirely devoid of that, you're like, where am I? Is this an interrogation room? Like, what are we doing?
Slides the paper-bound book, wrapped in paper, brown paper, across the table towards you.
I'm gonna unwrap it.
It's a recently published occult book with a strange title, Magic Man 78.
Wait, is that my enemy?
It is your enemy, and it is a guide to superstitions of Albany, Schenectady, and Troy, the capital, and all places south. The tale of Henry Hudson.
I'm gonna start flipping through it feverishly, trying to find any mention of myself or kindred or anything that shouldn't be out there.
There is an entire chapter devoted to disproving Auntie Astrid.
I'm just gonna like look up at Gabriel and go, "What a dick!"
I would like you to read through this, find anything actionable, anything real, anything that is. We are interested in the author.
You're in what way interested in the other?
He seems to know much, and he may be of interest to this chancery. Perhaps
Could
as a
I
ghoul,
just
perhaps as a future member.
could could I just owe you a boon if that interest was to be dropped from this individual in particular?
The interest does not come from me. The interest comes from the Karna in Saratoga, and we may need to intervene before drastic
God.
steps are made from other Tremere.
Okay, so me and this magic man, we have a little bit of a history going back. If he's gonna be around for forever, relationships might be a bit tense with Karna's side.
Well, I don't believe there is any room for another member of the. He says it as if it pains him to say it. Of the pyramid. I don't believe there's another room for practitioner of what we do. As a matter of fact, I believe that there are too many of us to begin with. But there's nothing that can be done about it. Except leaving it, making sure that no more are created if we can help it. So I'm going to leave the decision to you. This is a test. I want actionable plans on how we should deal with this situation. After you've read through the book, decided what's true and what's not. I want to hear your recommendations on how we handle Magic Man. I also wish you to find his actual identity.
All right, I'll get right on it.
Man, you never know. You may end up enjoying this man's company.
Mm-hmm. I bet. Very much. Put us in the room and we're gonna have a grand old time. Do I have a new number for Connor?
Probably not yet.
Probably not yet. No.
God damn it. And in that case, I'll just text to a number that no longer exists, so you're not gonna even receive that text. I'm gonna
Nah.
be like, would you like to do some internet snooping? I'll pay you for your time, but you never received it.
At some point, I will text you all with my new number,
At some point.
like within the evening.
How would you like to begin,
would you
Murta?
like?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Would you like to receive that text?
Sure, we can say that you were able to get in touch with me. I've sent my text with my new number to everybody.
Yeah, I'll send you this guy's username and I'll ask what's your going rate for internet snooping.
I like boons.
I will remind you that I'm already offering you one for joining the coterie.
Okay, I'll take 2 boons then, I suppose.
Oh god. I'm gonna owe everybody. I'm gonna be paying Connor 2 boons, and I'm gonna say that I would like the real identity of Magic Man, because this unloads some of my workload. And if I owe boons to people that I'm gonna be stuck in the coterie for a very long time, then it almost evens out, because technically they can call on me regardless. So it's almost like I'm not giving out a whole bunch of free promises that are gonna come back and bite me in the ass one day.
It's Connor to look into Magic Man. Okay.
Yeah, Connor to find Magic Man's real identity. And meanwhile, Lily's gonna spend the rest of her afternoon going through that book, page by page, to try and figure out both like realistic information and also something that this guy could potentially not have, like something that he's not supposed to have. And she's also like making a note to at some point release an anonymous book where she grills him out for a whole chapter, just to make it even.
Of the book, as you read it through the night, is a masterful dissection of the ley lines that run between Albany and connect the Hudson and the Mohawk and the whole city together. The Hermetic work is enlightened and inspired. And his arguments against you are more built on skepticism than vitriol. It's actually well written, well researched, but horribly wrong. But he makes fundamental mistakes, but his conclusions are wild and hokum. But give me an intelligence plus occult check to see if you fall for them. What is your intelligence plus occult?
My intelligence, 8 in total.
You can take half and still do fine.
I'll take half.
And that's why you understand everything is just wrong.
I'm gonna write
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna write a report for Gabriel, and I'm gonna categorize information into what is actually actionable, what's good research, and also wildly wrong conclusions. And while he might not feel any vitriol towards me, I'm gonna feel a lot of vitriol towards him for just dedicating a whole chapter in a book to like disproving me in particular. Like, this feels very targeted.
There's also an entire chapter on a secret society of immortal beings controlling Albany.
I'm gonna.
But it's very Lizard Man coded.
Yeah, but that one I'm gonna still categorize as potential red flag. It's a conspiracy theory, so it's gonna pass kind of fine. But this guy is like getting 30% right and 70% wrong, which is still a bit of a problem.
Okay. What else are you doing for the evening?
I'm very like strung up, and the fact that Gabriel told me to like make a coterie, I think I have 0 in it, and I think I got a Connor's yes because he kind of texted me that I'm gonna owe him 2 boons, so that's a tentative yes. I'm gonna take that, but it's very much on my mind that I feel like it's an assignment from my sire to get this to work. Hence why I'm just gonna be poking everybody on their phones. Like I'm gonna send out a message to Anya, I'm gonna send out a message to Kat, I'm gonna send out a message to our wonderful pharmaceutical Lasombra Oliver going, so like, how about that coterie? Could we was any decisions made? The boons are still like on the table. How about that?
That the text message has been sent, and we will go to 0. 0, how are you feeling?
Oh, wonderful. I'm excited for shenaniganry.
Excellent. We're going to start you right away. The thaw always brings them back. Not all at once, not cleanly. A bedroll under a bridge one night, a shopping cart behind a loading dock the next, patched denim gone stiff with old rain, army surplus blankets that smell like wet dog and mildew, cigarette burns and tarps, boots held together with dental floss and stubbornness. The crust kids come north with the spring like scavenger birds, back from Florida, Virginia, wherever the winter is cheap enough to survive. Albany pretends not to see them. Troy curses them. Schenectady uses them. But by late April, they aren't part of the night again. Tonight, the camp under the bridge is wrong. It's too quiet. One fire ring kicked flat, one tarp slashed open, a backpack turned inside out and left in the mud like a message. Someone has tried to put things back in place after a panic, which only makes the whole scene look worse. When you slip into the slow and silent through the concrete dark, you hear a voice from someone under a blanket says, hoarse and immediate, "Hey, thank fuck you came."
Well, you're welcome. Hello.
A man comes out from under a tarp. His hair just greasy, unkempt. But his clothes, he has an aesthetic to him. They're not clean, they're not great, but you can definitely tell where he stands. Somebody sold us out. They took him. They just came in and took him.
Who did they take?
Nails. Oh, by the way, I'm Moth. He offers his hand to you. It's dirty,
I
crusty with
bring him in for a
scabs.
hug.
He hugs you. He
I
puts
bring
his,
him for a hug.
he pounds his fist on your back. Yeah, they took
I
Nails.
am Zero.
Nice to meet you, Zero.
They took your friend Nails. Your friend, I assume, yes?
I know him from around. He's just a kid, man.
How old does
Moth look. Moth is
Moth
probably
look?
he's a Gen Xer. He's been doing this for a while.
So about my age then.
Yep.
Well, we don't appreciate when any of our own get taken. Do you happen to know anything about who took him?
Just a van pulled up, 4 guys in masks, helmets,
Helmets.
vests. They just jumped out of the back of the van and snatched him up, kicked his stuff around, threw him in the back and left.
What color was the van?
It was white.
Which direction did it leave from? To?
Well, it went up that side, and he points out toward the east side, east underpass, a part of the underpass. It went out that way. They're always messing with us. We know that. It's just the way it is. But they usually don't just come in here and snatch us off the street.
Yeah, that is outside of the normal. They usually just rough someone up and leave it to it, right?
That's what I mean. This guy's just a kid. He's a little reckless, right? You see him around. He's doing some stuff, but he wasn't really hurting nobody. Give me a wits plus streetwise, Josh.
Wits plus streetwise.
Difficulty 3. Oh wow, great job. You instantly you recognize when you look around. Nothing else was disturbed in this camp. No one else was attacked. No one else was targeted. So you're pretty sure they came directly for Nails.
Is anybody else around at this time, or is it just Moth around?
No, there's other people lingering around. They're not really saying anything, and you don't want to get too close because they're hunkered around a burn barrel.
I'll just kind of shout out to
fire.
I'll shout out to the group. I'll be like, "Hey, anybody see anything about this kidnapping?"
One of them looks up. What's in it for us?
What do you mean? What's in it for you? What, they took one of your own.
Yeah, but if we snitch, they might come back and take us. One of them said, shut up, pigeon. Well, I know where you. I know. I saw something. White van. Look, government. Had initials on it. Looked like one of those immigration vans.
Yeah, okay. What initials were on it?
DIEDIC. I can't remember. Department Immigration Enforcement, something like that.
Yeah, okay. Fuckers. You all gotta be a little bit more careful, eh? Like, you can't just be letting them come in and snatch people like that. What's that about?
What do you expect us to do? They had guns.
Well, shit, okay. Well, fuck. Yeah, you're right. And I let out kind of a rage scream snort thing noise. Yeah, I guess you did your best. It is what it is. These fuckers. Alright, I guess just, like, be vigilant. And I'll look back over at Moth. Your friend Nails, was they, nicely, were they not white?
Dang. He doesn't fit the profile.
So they were just fucking with him to fuck with him? Is what you're telling me?
They just, I don't know. They didn't say anything. They just rolled out of the van. Looks like they picked someone at random and threw him in.
Do any of the other people that I've talked to, are they all white?
No.
Um, do I know anything about where that
Males.
van could be going?
There is a detention center in Albany. It's called Stonegate. But that's
In
mostly
Albany.
it's mostly for an intake for immigration, not for transients, and at least on paper.
Well, this is they're claiming that it was an immigration van, right? That's what I'm looking on.
Yep, it sure is. And the only
So
detention
I
and the only
will-
major immigration detention center is Stonegate.
I suppose that's my only lead, and I'll head that way.
All right. We will move to Cat as you head your way to Stone. Well, no, we're gonna get you to Stonegate because Stonegate's hard to get into. It's about 30 minutes away from Troy, where you are. It's outside the main city. It's along the river. It is a very large, secure compound.
I will invisibly just shadow I suppose I have to shadow a vehicle and then shadow someone who's walking into the building.
Right. At this time of night, there is no traffic going in or out.
Is there is it like a manned gate type of deal to get through the vehicle entrance?
There's a manned barbed wire fence. Then behind the barbed wire fence is a 10-foot wall, stone wall with a gate, and you can't see beyond that wall.
But like there's a person operating a gate to let people in.
That not that you can see. It's probably controlled from inside one of the towers.
So then the speaker box.
Speaker box, yes.
I will approach the speaker box and is there any sort of cameras looking in this direction or anything like that?
Oh yes.
And I will.
You can see without even rolling. There are cameras covering every approach to the front.
I will. I'll shout into the speaker box. Oh, shots fired! Officer needs assistance!
Floodlights will turn on. Siren will go off. The floodlights will look. Alternate floodlights will turn on, but no one opens the gate. No one comes running out.
No one comes running out, eh?
Nope. After a few moments, you hear no contact. No contact.
I don't really have a second play here.
That's okay. You've run into a scenario that you probably can't get through. It's okay to not have something that it's okay not to have another play. As you're standing at the gate looking up, you get a sense that something is definitely not only keeping people inside, but keeping people out. And then we zoom out to Cat. Cat, are you ready?
Ready.
All hands. All hands have been called. The collar line gym is a boxing gym first and everything else second. Even closed, it smells like hard work. Old leather, sweat soaked deep into canvas, disinfectant, hand wraps left too long in gym bags, iron plates, liniment, and the copper trace of split lips and bloody noses scabbed out before the dawn. The ring sits in the center under forgiving lights, ropes worn, smoothed by years of bodies leaning, ducking, and getting cornered. Heavy bags hang like in a row like a hanged men. Speed bags twitch faintly in the draft. Benches crowd the edges of the room besides buckets of tape, cracked focus mitts, and loose mouth guards and half-empty water cases. The place does not pretend people come here to become better. It's a room built for learning and how to keep on your feet. And tonight, oh, it's full. All 10 Bruja of Troy line the walls. They perch on weight benches, lean against lockers, sit on ring aprons, and stand with arms folded near the bags. None of them formal, none of them polished, but all present. Too many bodies for this to be casual. Too many eyes at the door when you walk in, Cat. It's not a favor. It's not a social call. This is everybody, and Patch has called you. And he's near the ring, wrapped hands, hanging loose at his side like a finished 3 rounds, could go 3 more. Stands and begins approaching you. It's Darius.
Kat's gonna sigh, even though she doesn't need to. She's made eye contact with Patch so that he knows that she's there, but she's gonna stay kind of towards the back of the room and make Darius approach her there.
Oh, and he's going
And as
to.
he's strolling up, no, I'm sure he is. As he's strolling up, she's just kind of kicking her foot against the floor, going, "What's up, Pops?"
He grits his teeth a little bit as he gets closer to you, and he's not an unhandsome man. As a matter of fact, in a different life, if he hadn't done what he'd done, you might consider him attractive at some point. But at this, he just seems lost. He goes, "I haven't seen you around."
I'm busy.
Yeah, at that bar. The last call.
Yeah. What about it?
You've got a lot more potential than just working the door there, and you know that.
Used to, didn't I?
We're still talking 20 years and we're still talking about this.
Yeah. Have a feeling we'll be talking about it for 20 more, maybe 200 more. See how long you last, I suppose.
Anyway, Patch wants us all here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you took the time to come out to be with family.
Family, sure.
It's all hands. And as he begins to say that, Aoife pops up like a little spring-heeled terrier. She pops up from behind a punching bag. Oi, get away from her, Darius.
One person I can stand to see. She walks over, grabs her hand, pulls her in for a hug, smacks her hard on the back a couple times.
She accepts the hug. She turns to Darius and is like, "Just, you can be gone now. Let the grown-ups talk." Darius just shakes his head. He kind of chuckles a little bit, and he walks away. So have you heard about what this is about yet?
No idea. You heard anything?
I expect it's just going to be another rah-rah speech. Try to get us all fired up, keep us going, keep us motivated. We do these all the time. I'm just surprised to see you here for one.
Well, figured I shouldn't ruffle any feathers. Been getting a little too much attention on me these days. Figure it's better to be in the back in the shadows than be noticed by my absence.
You notice that there's 3 other kindred here. You've seen them before, but you're pretty sure they're thin blood. Probably the Bruja sires, but there's 3 thin blood just sort of hanging out in the gym. How does that make Kat feel? What is her thoughts on the thin bloods?
Oh, she doesn't have any prejudice towards them one way or another. As far as she's concerned, they're some more poor saps that got roped into this shitty life. But she is going to take note of them, and she's going to kind of, give a little head nod in their direction and ask Aoife, like, what's up with the new faces?
They're not really new. They're well, the Bruja that didn't take, right? There's they didn't get enough yeast or something, and they didn't rise.
You guys are spreading yourself too thin. The room's crowded already.
And room is crowded, and I hope the Patch is going to talk about that. But it looks like he's got something to say. Aoife steps away, and Patch steps forward, and he's a large man, ex-boxer, broken nose, and he stands with a swagger only a fighter could fight. A fighter would have. We do not have the luxury of acting like islands. And he takes a slow look around the room before continuing. Troy stays Troy because we hold it together when other people would rather see it carved up, bought off, pacified, or turned into something else as a cautionary tale. Every time Albany wants to make policy out of your lives, every time some outside creep thinks this city is soft enough to poach from, every time one of our own decides they can drift alone and still cash in on what the movement protects, we get weaker. And he kind of looks at Kat when he says that. But this is not about obedience. If you wanted that, you would have crossed the river. This is about unity. It's about knowing who stands with Troy when the pressure comes down. It's about not making the same mistake the dead always make, which is assuming there will be time later to decide who the people were. If you wear anger like a birthright, fine, be like me. But in this city, anger does not build anything. It's just another hobby. So we need a purpose, and that purpose needs to be Troy. And I'm talking to all the Bruja here. We need to stop with this little bit of infighting we're doing, and we need to act like a family and keep this thing running. Because if it's not for us, who else is it for? Pat, at this point in time, you get a very loud text message. Your phone goes off.
Kind of takes her phone out of her pocket and fucking fumbles with it while she's trying to silence it. Sorry. Did not mean for that. Apologies, everybody.
And do you look at the message?
Very quickly before I slip it back into my pocket. I'm not going to respond at this moment, whatever it is.
It's a message from Ricky. It says, I need to see you. It won't happen again, I promise.
Kat kind of rolls her eyes and stares at the ceiling, seeing it, but she shoves it into her pocket without responding.
Patch stops, he looks at you, and he goes, are we done? And he waits for you to respond.
Yeah. Family's great. Yeah. I'm done. I'm good. I'm ready to pay attention. Yes.
He cracks his knuckles, and he goes, good. He goes, I lost my place. And as he begins to speak again, you feel your phone vibrate.
She reaches in and she clicks the little button on the side to stop the vibrating, but she doesn't look at it.
Okay. The meeting goes on. It goes on for probably another 15 minutes. The Bruja go back and forth on what they should do, how they should handle the Albany situation, if they should handle the Albany situation, what they should do. And during this entire time, your phone keeps blowing up.
I think after the fourth message, she would basically turn around so that she's facing the wall and her back is facing everyone else, and she'd look at the phone again.
This time it says, I need to see you now.
She texts back, fuck off.
It comes back.
Puts the phone back in her pocket, turns back around.
Okay. Excellent. You get another text. And it says pineapple.
Do I need to roll for anything?
Nope, you don't need to roll for anything.
Okay.
And the scene fades to black. All right. That brings us to the end. We have completed our vignettes. I want to thank everyone for playing with me tonight. 3 XP. We had 1 stain tonight. Connor, please roll your remorse check.
Yeah. All right, I am rolling. What am I rolling? I'm rolling 2 for this.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
You feel bad about breaking your computer. Excellent.
I do feel bad about it because I'm going to have to pay for that.
You have regrets.
Excellent. Everybody, I want to do our normal ritual. I want to go around the table. We do this every game for those of you who are new. We're going to start with Murta. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, what your favorite scene and your favorite role play was.
I like the fact that you're bringing up my personal enemy in my vignette so early on, and now I'm handed like this dude's book, and like I need to decide whether or not he participates with the rest of the Tremere in some way, shape, or form. I also love the fact that my character was placed on the spot with the whole coterie thing so much. Zero has really toned down his behavior, which was a bit of a head scratcher thing. I appreciate that from Joshi. I think he has done really good roleplay. I also really love the fact that Hanya broke into the hospital and got stuck staring at ballet on a TV until she was kind of shook out of that. I think that was also a very excellent scene. There isn't really many things that I don't like. I suppose we're currently having quite a lot of cliffhangers. Zero's vignette is kind of cliffhanger, Cat's vignette is kind of cliffhanger, and I'm like, whoa, there are so many like storylines in here that we could pursue. So I don't know, but that's like a nitpick more than anything. It's like there's like a lot of paths, and I'm like, but which path are we gonna explore? And there's gonna be like a lot of things outstanding. That's the only thing. You've done a great job. Everyone at this table is doing a great job.
Fantastic, thank you. Drew, tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, your favorite role play, your favorite scene.
Well, what I did like again was seeing the group, and then when the whole you need to, this would be a coterie. And everybody just got quiet. Like, that's great because it was kind of like that. Oh, I wonder if we're going to get a choice to this. And we all kind of looked at each other and shrugged. So that was great. And just also getting into the vignettes, getting to see get to know the characters a little better, what their, some insights into what their own personal, stories may include or may not include, because a lot of times when you get playing in a coterie game, you forget that each character has their own thing they're doing. Vampires don't just show up in their coterie all the time. They got stuff going on. So that's cool. As far as didn't like, I didn't really have anything, like no constructive criticism, because I enjoyed the session and enjoyed everybody playing. Favorite scene was probably the hospital scene with Connor just, being invisible the whole time, and Kat kind of looking over her shoulder like, you could just stay in the car. And he's like, yeah, why didn't I? That really hit home. I loved that. So that's a great session. Everybody did well at the table. I'm really enjoying the table and the story so far.
Excellent. Thank you, Drew. Nachi, tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. Favorite role play, favorite scene. I almost said best dressed. Which is me.
It's no contest, really.
Yeah, no contest. No contest. Well, it was a great session. I truly enjoyed everybody's low personal vignettes. I feel like everybody's story and lore is great. I think we're developing it and showing sides of our characters we weren't able to show yet on the first episode that we were able to show a little now on the vignettes. I think that's awesome. And as I said before, everyone here is such a great role player. Everyone adds so much to the scenes. It's super interesting. I also thought the you guys should be a coterie part was also really funny because yeah, everybody was just sitting there like, should we? And yeah, favorite scene. I really enjoyed the hospital scene with Kat and Connor. That was really fun for me to role play. And in general, I really, really enjoyed everybody's personal vignettes. It was really fun to watch. And yeah, I don't really have any criticism or anything that I didn't enjoy. I'm really enjoying this. It's been really fun.
Excellent. Davey, tell us what you liked, didn't like, favorite scene, favorite role play.
Boy, so much. I liked confronting Greece. I really liked hacking Punisher Statey, whatever it was. He's definitely not going to come back and get me. Favorite roleplay, I think, was I really enjoyed Kat with her sire. Like, I thought that was a really good scene. Just like, he's like, oh, you've got potential. And she's like, I had potential. I thought that was a really good bit. No complaints about any of it.
Awesome. Excellent. I'm glad everyone's having a good time. Nerd at Art, tell me what you liked, didn't like, favorite role play, favorite scene.
Oh man, well, I loved all of it. It was amazing. Great group of players. Like, just seriously, cheers to everybody. It was such a great night. I loved so many things tonight. It's kind of hard to pinpoint just a couple. Not to sound like a broken record, but the hospital scene, of course. I always like the fun things that kind of come out of people having those random compulsion rolls and being able to segue that into just like, oh my god, just look at her, she's so distraught. Worked out really well. Connor's antics going up against some online right-wing nut job. I look forward to that coming to fruition. I look forward to following Zero's little storyline that he's got going on. And with an enemy like Magic Man, like, how can you not be intrigued? It's going to be good. Lots of just random good stuff happening. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to add. Just an awesome night. Pineapple cliffhanger. Like, how can it get better?
Ashi, tell me what you liked.
What's that about?
Favorite scene, favorite role play.
Yeah, I mean, the same. I'm last in line, so I get to say it the last time. Everything was great. No complaints. Everybody adds so much. I feel like we've really got some very, I don't want to say tropey clan archetypes, but we've got some tropey clan archetypes, and it's very fun, and I love that about Vampire. I'm excited to see where it all goes. I'm excited to all the deep dives into individual characters of like the Drew's character getting in trouble for killing that person and having to like cover it up at the hospital or the old folks home or whatever. And Riot being in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but just being like so Riot with her sire and the rest of the Bruja and like, yeah, everything. And then favorite scene, yeah, a hospital again, I guess. Very, very funny. Compulsions are great. I fucking love compulsions, as is known to people who hang out here. And just, yeah, finding a way to like spin them into something that is meaningful is the best.
Well, that's a hard one to follow. My favorite scene tonight. I really want to give it to Drew for just being on board with doing human testing on on elderly people in the Eddy, which is a real place, which is great. I think it's fantastic and phenomenal. So I should have given you a stain for that, but it's not technically against the Chronicle tenets. So I did it. We didn't actually start the testing tonight. I liked Anya's scene with her sire because I liked bringing Anya to tears. I thought it was good, and I really liked that. And I'm gonna get better on my Bahari game. Don't worry, I'm gonna get stronger with that.
Oh,
And
no
it's-
worries. It was
and it's-
awesome. It was great.
I had a great time subverting expectations with Lily and Gabriel. He didn't suggest to everyone else that they join a coterie. He just suggested that Lily should join a coterie like this. So some slight pressure, slight parental pressure. Josh, how was my portrayal of crust kids and gutter punks?
I mean, yeah, it's. I feel like they're a little bit more willing to stick up for each other, but given guns and stuff, what are they gonna fucking do, right?
What are they gonna do, right?
Yeah.
And Davey, I enjoyed giving you a chance to, mess up some right-wing nut jobs, internet life. That's fun. That's great. 3
good.
XP for
good,
everyone
man.
tonight. So enjoy your 3 XP. And I'm gonna rate us out. We're gonna rate it an oldie but a goodie.
Don't we have a stain? No, we already
We
rolled for
did
the
stains.
stain.
We already rolled stains.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
We're gonna raid mortal rolls tonight because why not? Let's say hello to them when we get over there. They are doing some good things. We did some great things. Thank you, everybody. This raid is starting, and we will see you on the flip side. Catch you soon.
Good night.
Good night.